Henry Donald Pete. The optics of Tianjin with a troika of Modi, Putin, and Xi standing in a circle with a signal to Washington was a signal to Washington. But was it received in the right quarters? Trump's economic and verbal war against India helped manufacture the extra bonhomie for the Tianjin show. Whether the rebalancing is real will become clear only in time. Meanwhile, the train wreck of India-US relations continue with no rescue team in sight. The crisis is no longer a case of sudden chills that will pass with the season, but a collapse of trust that won't win for years. It's more like a 1971 moment when Nixon sent the Seventh Fleet to threaten war with India on Pakistan's behalf, while ignoring the genocide in East Pakistan. The resulting pro-Pak tilt lasted decades, spawning a multi-generational distrust of US and India. Substitute gunboat diplomacy of those days with the intense tariff sanctions pressure of today, and Peter Navarro seems as bloody minded as Henry Kissinger, and Trump as hellbent as Richard Nixon in cornering India. If Nixon went to great lengths not to do anything to complicate the situation for President Yahya Khan and reward Pakistan for facilitating the opening to China, Trump seems engaged in a similar venture to remount the global architecture with a side play for a Nobel Peace Prize. India survived Kissinger's devious diplomacy to alter the balance of power, a US China alignment against the Soviet. Pakistan, the secret channel, was handsomely paid and protected as it went on to build its nuclear program and gestate terrorists under cover of the Afghan war. China and Pakistan were in good strategic spot then as they are now. India was sidelined. There was no Indian diaspora to speak of, and few real threads connecting India and America. India's economy was largely closed. It was it was a different time. Pakistan was in the US camp while India has signed a friendly treaty with the Soviets to avoid being a friendless victim in the great game. Since there wasn't much depth to the Indo US relations, the damage was easier to repair. The relationship continued at a basic level. US stayed away from mediating in Kashmir, barring a couple of bouts in adventurism. It recognized India's red lines and didn't pay much attention to Delhi. This time, there's an entire infrastructure friendship to destroy. After 25 years of steady expanding relationship. And as they say, greater the height, harder the fall. The psychological damage will endure. Apart from hot takes against Americanics, a deeper distrust could set in within the Indian establishment, limiting engagement and opportunities both. New Delhi will show it has options, some old, some new. So far, it has done so without denying the need for good relations with US. Interestingly, Trump too hasn't personally criticized Modi, which some see as a ray of hope. Without But without real engagement between the two, that might just be grasping at straws. The only person smiling at the global ballroom is Xi. Trump wants to deal with China. Russia is arguably tighter with China than with India. And if US efforts to force an end to the Putin's war in Ukraine succeed, India risks being left further afield. A weaker Russia, a stronger China, and a mercurial US is not a triangle that favors India no matter how sweet the sounds from Taijin. During the Cold War, neither superpower claimed Indian territory. The superpower invading does, and it already has a strong presence in countries neighboring India. Navarro and Co. only make China's tasks easier by adding fuel by daily fuel by adding daily fuel to the fire consuming the Indian relationship. US Congress has stayed largely quiet, save a few statements. Indian American members of Congress have said little or nothing as they watch the destruction. The Indian caucus has made no statement. The Indian diaspora is in hiding. The business lobby with stakes in India is MIA. Why? Because they're afraid. No one wants to get in front of an anti immigrant pictorial pouring out of the MAGA world. At least they become a target. Another anger against Indians as job stealers and visa manipulators has risen in the wake of the in Trump's tariff war. Virulent social media posts by prominent MAGA actors should worry all. Today it's calling for an end of the H-1B visas. Today it should be something could be something worse. Foreign students, read Indians, since they are the largest group, will face new visa restrictions. The people to people bridge is being shaken. It's like the US economy got no benefit from the toil and trouble of Indian and Indian Americans. On the other side, strident anti Americanism is on the rise. From doing Havans for Trump's good health, some are making him effigy. He's seen as a bully and a betrayer. From the sky being no limit to the US India friendship, to quote Modi, and this being the most consequential to being quote Biden. To Navarro's invectives, and Trump's insults, the buzz got will last years. India will survive, strategic autonomy and all, as it has other policy U-turns. It may use hygiene type gatherings for help, but they contain too many traps.